In the past 12 months, I've made over $500,000. And 3 years ago, I was broke in a uni house, an employee, most importantly, and I was lost. And the reason I've been able to make that switch, it's not because I'm smarter than I was 3 years ago. It's not because I was luckier. It's not because I'm more talented. Nothing to do with any of those things. It's because of how I think. I had a shift in the way I saw the world. I went from being an employee to being a closer, an entrepreneur, thinking differently. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly what that switch looked like so that you can do the exact same. Because I'm here to fill you with the confidence that you can change. You can. Not only because I've done it, not only because I've helped over 100 others do it, but because I know your potential. You have it. You just have to change the way you see the world. A lot of people see the world as an employee. They see the world, they're waiting for someone to take responsibility. They're looking for permission. They're choosing the safe option. Comfortable, predictable. That is going to keep you where you are today. If you keep chasing that, if you don't change. Because this journey to get to where I am today, it isn't predictable, it isn't comfortable, it wasn't any of that. And a very big thing that I see a lot of people, I guess, think about when they get into the online space, or they think about getting into the online space, is that it's going to solve all your problems. I still have problems, not only because I'm human, but also with business and everything. I still have problems that I deal with. They're just different. They look different, but I still have them. So getting into this, you're not going to solve all of your problems at all. You're still going to have problems. But those problems are going to look different. The problems aren't going to be, how am I going to be able to afford rent? The problems are going to be different. Okay? They're going to be more, okay, how can I go from being at 10K a month to 20K a month? Because that's a problem that you need to solve, right? And it sounds weird, but you do that by thinking differently. That's it. And thinking as an employee, looking for the safe route, what's comfortable, permission, that doesn't get you here. That doesn't get me where I am today. What got me where I am today was taking advantage of my opportunities, looking for leverage, understanding risk and reward, right? I knew, okay, I was pretty decent at sales. I knew that because I had experience before getting into high-ticket sales. And I also knew that when I was working my sales gig, I didn't have a lot of control. I also knew that I was stuck. It wasn't very leveraged. I was doing the whole 360 cycle, the lead, getting them in, getting them nurtured, educated, whatever you want to call it, getting them booked in, getting them on the call, getting them closed. That is a very long process. It's not very leveraged at all. Plus, the commissions I was earning, they're capped, right? I've got a cap, I've got a ceiling. So I knew that, and I was like, okay, there has to be something better. And high-ticket sales was just that. Speaking with businesses who have a high social media presence. Think of Ashton Hall, for example, right? He has created this viral morning routine. He has a coaching program. Do you think the closers that work for his coaching program, that are getting, by the way, their calendars packed out with all the people who are watching these morning routines, a lot of them are his demographic that he's trying to sell to. So these closers are getting a full calendar. Do you think that sales cycle is 6 months long? No. That sales cycle is the closer jumps on the call and gets money on the call. Do you think that their commissions are capped once they hit a certain quota? No. They are unlimited. The deals you close, whatever amount you make for the business, you see 10 to 20% of that as a commission. So obviously, if you work for someone like Ashton Hall, you are going to be making at least 30 grand a month, minimum. That's what a lot of people make in a year. You can make that in a month. And the only thing you need to do to make that switch is stop looking for what's comfortable and look for leverage. Think like a business owner, right? Treat yourself and your life like a business. Because treating it as if you're an employee is going to keep you an employee. You have to. I used to think all the time, I remember, I had this mindset of like, oh, I don't know if I can afford that. I need this money in case something happens. Well, why? Why am I preparing like that? That's silly, right? And a lot of people might disagree with that, and fine, you're more than welcome to. I'm not going to mind. But it's silly. You're preparing for something that hasn't happened yet, firstly. And secondly, you thinking that way is going to bring that thing into your life. I'm a firm believer of that. If you believe that you need to save this amount of money in case something happens, that will happen. So you have to look at your life, like I said, like a business. If you have capital, invest it into yourself, invest into the business. And the best way to do that is your skill set. Improve your sales abilities, improve your network, improve your mindset. Because these things, they're not risky. They're leveraged. Because you improve your skills once, that is now done for the rest of your life. Think about it as like a video game. You've like unlocked new levels now, right? Life is one big video game. And the thing is, by looking for what's comfortable, by looking for what's safe, you're not going to achieve it. If I looked for what's safe and what was comfortable, I'd still be stuck. Well, I probably wouldn't be still at uni. I'd be finished with uni. But I would be stuck right now in a 9-to-5 that I hate. Clocking in, having to wake up at stupid hours in the morning to get ready to get on a commute to work, to then come back home late, tired. How am I going to fit in my gym? How am I going to fit in my social life? All these things are on my mind. Hello? Why is that a problem that you need to be dealing with? It's not. Change your situation. Fix it. By grabbing your life by the balls and saying, you know what? I'm going to look for an opportunity, a business opportunity. And those are your skills. You upgrade those. You then unlock new income potential, right? Because you have more skills. You are more valuable. As an employee, you are dispensable. You are replaceable. You need to make yourself irreplaceable. And you do that by the skills, the mindset, the network. Because how you show up in life, it's going to affect how you make a living, right? If you hesitate, let's say, before, I don't know, let's say you're looking into the online space, right? Let's say you hesitate before you do anything, right? That is an employee mindset. The business owner mindset, the closer mindset is, I see an opportunity here, I'm going to take it. Because in life, you have opportunities that will pass you by. Biggest opportunity for me was way back when I saw dropshipping when it first happened. I could have gone in there and made a bag, but I didn't because I was thinking like an employee. I was like, oh, it's risky. What is that? Right? If you are worried about everything being perfect, employee mindset. If you are worried that you are being pushy, employee mindset. Know what you want, grab it. Because no one's going to grab it for you. You have to look after yourself. Be selfish. I don't care what anyone says. Be selfish, right? You have to be selfish to go after your goals. Everyone was. Whether it's Usain Bolt, whether it's Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Messi, Ronaldo, LeBron James, whoever, they're selfish. And that's how they got to where they are. By being selfish and by thinking like a business owner, they're upgrading their skills, they're putting the time in, they're putting the money in. Because they understand the core principle that really life is just one big video game, to be honest. And you can either play it with handcuffs on and like wool over your eyes and just do as you're told all the time, but look where that's going to get you. You're going to probably, retire by the time you're 65, so you'll have worked your whole life. The average age you live is till you're 80, and you're willing to work to the bone till you're 65. That's the path you're on now if you're an employee and you think like an employee. Me, by the time I'm 40, I'm disappearing. You're not going to see me online. You're not going to see me anywhere. I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm making millions a year. Baff. Right? That's what I want to do. That's my goal. And I know to get there, I can't think like an employee. I have to have the best product, the best service, the best team, the best skills, and I'm working every day to get to that point. Because my goal is by the time I'm 40, I don't have to work. I choose to work. And that's the thing, really. That is what I'm doing today. I don't have to work. I don't. But I want to, because I enjoy it. And as an employee, I didn't enjoy my work at all. If you think like an employee, you're going to stay an employee. And if you're still waiting for permission to chase your goals, you're cooked. You need to change something and really understand what you want and why you want it, and look deep and start thinking about what you want for your life, right? I'm making this video because I would have loved to hear this information when I was an employee and thinking like an employee. Because at the end of the day, if you think like a business owner, like a closer, you're going to become that person, right? I heard this amazing thing, and it's something that I've lived by pretty much my whole life. Where you are now, let's say you're making $1,000 a month, you want to make 10 grand a month. There's this version of you that's making 10 grand a month. Okay. You want to know the best way to become that person? It's by understanding the person that has 10 grand a month. What skills do they have? What network do they have? What mindset do they live by? How often do they go to the gym? And behaviors, everything. Who do they spend time with? Understand all of that. And then live like that person today and work to get everything that person has today. And you will attract that into your life. And that's how a business owner thinks. Me, a business owner, I want to make my business 7 figures a year, like annually, by the end of this year. That's my goal. And I'm saying that to you because this is a social contract now. I've put it out there. That's my goal. And I'm going to make it happen. Right? So that is my goal. That is what I'm going to do. I've looked at what I need to do that. What do I need? The team, the marketing, the content, the sales, everything. To get a business up until that level, I know what I need to do, and I'm just working every day to get there. And you need to look at it the same. Like I said, think like a business owner. Stop thinking like an employee and waiting and thinking about what's safe. Stupid. It's stupid. It really is. because you're just going to stay there. Life is way too damn short, like I said, to work for someone else, to do something you don't enjoy doing. I love what I do. It's fulfilling. I also get to make a lot of money. I also get to meet amazing people. It's amazing. I love what I do. And I wouldn't change it for the world. And that is something that I wish I had 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I hated my job. I hated where I was in life. I hated the fact that I had to look at my bank account every time I wanted to buy something. I hated so many things in my life. Luckily, I always had good people around me, like with good intentions. And that was one of the positives I had. Right? But there was a lot about my life I didn't like. And if I thought like an employee, I would have thought, oh, okay, like let me look for that. Let me look for that new job that's going to give me what I want. Wow, crazy. Right? I knew that I couldn't achieve what I wanted that way. Like really think about what you want to achieve in your life and be delusional about it as well. Because why be realistic? Who cares? Be delusional. Get whatever you want. Live the life you want. Be with who you want. It doesn't matter. Think about where you want to be 20 years from now. Think about it, really. Pen and paper, write it down. And then understand how much you need to make a year, a month, a day to make that happen. Work towards that number. And you do that with the skills, the mindset, the network. And really quickly, as long as you put in the work, right? Because it's not just going to fall into your lap, the skills, the mindset, the network, everything. Just put in the work. It's that simple. And instead of putting in the work for some company that you hate, or maybe you enjoy what you do for work, there's that opportunity, that's a possibility, too. But you still understand that where you are now is not going to get you to where you want to be. And that hurts. Or you can settle for getting a, what's the word? God, what is the word? It's when you upgrade in your business. Jesus Christ, I don't even know. But whatever, every 2.5 years, you get a promotion. That's the one, right? You get a promotion every 2.5 years. Cool. Work towards that. See where that gets you, right? I want to fill you with the confidence that you can do it and that it's possible. Because I've done it. And not only have I done it, a bunch of other people have helped to do it, and I've seen other people do it as well. Friends of mine now, right? And you can do it. You just have to get out of your own way, start thinking in the right way, and acting on it. That's it. It's really damn simple. And that doesn't mean that it's easy, but it's simple. And you can do it. I want to fill you with that confidence. Because I'm not smarter, I'm not luckier, I'm not more talented. I just knew what I want and I went for it. And you can do the damn same too. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to know what it's like working with me, feel free to DM me on Instagram. All right? And I'll catch you in the next one. As always, jump and build on the way down.